The Connecticut Sun celebrated 15 seasons in the state last night. Now, their first season, they had Rebecca Lobo on the team. She's been a pioneer in women's basketball from her days at UConn to playing in the first WNBA game on June 21st, '97. I remember that because I watched it. She caught up with John Pearson to talk Sun, WNBA, and her legacy.
Talking to people about 15 years here already for the Connecticut Sun, I'm like, is that right? I can't believe it's already been 15 years. Can you?
Yeah, I mean, it's gone by so fast. But it clearly has been a long time because I was part of that first year and I haven't played in a really long time. But, you know, when you look through the experiences that this franchise had playing for championships, winning Eastern Conference championships, some of the great players who've gone through here, MVPs of the league, you know, this franchise has a lot to be proud of, and they've got a great fan base. The team this year is playing really well, and you know, I think is showing that they're kind of on their upward trajectory now, bringing the Connecticut Sun back to being one of the better teams in the WNBA. But a lot of people should be proud of what they've built here for the WNBA.
What do you remember about your first year, or your only year here, right, with this team?
Yep. You know, I just remember that first game, you know, having my family in the stands again because the previous year I was in Houston, so they could only come to a handful of games. So to be back home and to be back in front of fans that had supported me since I was at UConn, it was nice to look around and always see so many friendly, familiar faces and people that were excited to finally have a WNBA team here and what a lot of people see as the women's basketball capital.
When this all started for women's basketball, a lot of people weren't sure what was going to happen. For you to be in it in the beginning and now see where it is now, how proud of you, of people are you, of what's happened for women's basketball in general?
Yeah, it's really gratifying for me. I have 3 daughters and a son. My oldest is 12, and she's a huge WNBA fan, a huge women's basketball fan. So her favorite player is Brianna Stewart because of the connection with UConn. But the Sun is one of her favorite teams. You know, she follows them, knows the players, knows their record and how they're doing. And so as a parent now of young girls, I have that added layer of pride that I was here early on and part of this franchise and of the WNBA, but also so thankful that this league is still here, this franchise is still here, so that girls like my daughters have something that they can dream about doing themselves one day and a team that they can really get behind.
How important is this franchise to the WNBA? You know, support is growing in other markets as well, but this has been kind of a constant, a steady, if you will.
And this was one of the first franchises that was not owned by an NBA team, did not have a tie with NBA ownership, and proved that you can still be successful without that. You know, we've held the draft here a few years. You know, the All-Star game has been played here more than any other venue when you include the games with the Olympic teams that have happened some summers. So this is really a model franchise, and it was important for a franchise that didn't have an NBA owner early on to show other groups that it could be successful.